Rabbi, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Elizabeth.
I just wanted to, I know you spoke to the victim's wife. What did she tell you?
She was in a total state of shock. You don't expect someone to leave a house with an Israeli flag just to stand on a street corner and wave a flag to show your bond with Israel, your love for Israel, and never come home. And it's just for her, something that it's beyond words for her to have any understanding of how this could have possibly happened in a beautiful community like we live in.
Jewish communities have been warned to remain vigilant. Some rabbis in your area have even warned their communities to avoid this particular intersection in Thousand Oaks because pro-Palestinian protesters were, quote, looking for confrontation, according to those rabbis. What are you telling your community?
I'm telling my community that we can have our demonstrations and we can have our rallies and we don't have to be on the same street corner where they're having theirs. There's no need for us to have any type of direct confrontations, but at the same time, in a country that people do have a freedom of expression, they're entitled to stand on a street corner waving an Israeli flag. And that's all Paul was doing. He wasn't really where their rally was taking place. He was standing in front of the Shell gas station, holding an Israeli flag. They crossed the street to come to him, to confront him, to challenge him. And as we've heard now from quite a few about a megaphone being raised and him getting hit with the megaphone, we did hear from the medical examiner today that did say that the injuries to his face did match what the injuries that would be caused by a megaphone hitting him in the face. It's starting the pieces are starting to come together here, that we are dealing with a hate crime. We're waiting for the sheriff's department. We're waiting for them to come out with a conclusion. But what we are hearing is very disturbing to the Jewish community.
I can only imagine. We're seeing these protests break out everywhere, on college campuses, on city streets. We have them here in New York City. They're in Washington, D.C. We're seeing them everywhere. And passions seem to be so dramatically inflamed right now.
So what's troubling here, I joined a group of 27 rabbis 2 weeks ago. We went to Israel for a solidarity mission. And we met with the people of Israel. We met with the victims of terror. We met with those that lost loved ones. We met with those who have children or brothers or sisters or fathers or mothers or babies being held hostage right now as we speak in Gaza. We met with many of the wounded in the hospital. We spoke to people that dealt with body identification and told us that the atrocities that they have witnessed with their eyes are worse than anything since the days of the Holocaust. We heard the evil. We spoke to those that experienced this evil. The media has been shown video clips of the atrocities. And you expect them to come back to your country and have it a united being, all the country together, to stand together and say, there is no room for hate. There's no room for such atrocities. And then to hear that there are demonstrations that are pro-Hamas, they're pro-anti-Israel. Israel here was the victim. And to hear the hate that comes forth from these demonstrations. So to stand on the street corner and wave a flag is one thing, but that's not what's going on here. We're seeing pure hate. Listen to what's being said. When they say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, there's a meaning to that. That means wipe Israel off the face of the map. That's asking for another Holocaust. Well, as a son of a Holocaust survivor, we say on behalf of all the Jewish people, never again is now. We will not stand back and allow this to ever happen to us, not to us here and not to Israel. And so there's a time where everyone needs to speak out. Jew, non-Jew, Christian, Muslim, all speak out against evil. What took place on October 7th is nothing else but evil.
I heard one rabbi in your community say that many of these pro-Palestinian protesters, he said, have no idea what they're talking about. They don't understand about Sharia law. That was what he said. It's a quote, actually. Do you agree with that assessment?
I haven't interviewed them to know, but my guess is, if you asked any of them, I say, are you in favor of a 9-month-old child being held as a hostage? A 9-month-old child being held as a hostage. Think. This 9-month-old child has a mother, has a father, or maybe they've been killed as well. Are you in favor of this? Is this something you support? Is this something you think is positive? Is this something that's better for humanity because they exist? Everyone needs to get behind Israel's campaign to wipe out Hamas. This is the ISIS on steroids of today. And it doesn't serve any good to any people. The people of Gaza suffer perhaps more than anyone else with Hamas as their leadership. So it's confusing to us to see demonstrations taking place with hate against the Jew when these atrocities took place on October the 7th.
Is there any part of you that is surprised that we're in this place, that Jewish students are barricading themselves in libraries because they've been chased by mobs, that people are walking around tearing down posters of kidnapped children who are being held hostage?
Yeah, I would have to say that we're all surprised, but at the same time, we know the history of anti-Semitism, which is the oldest hate in the world. And, you know, the difference this time is that it's come out in public, meaning they're proud to say it. They're proud to pull down the poster. They're proud to go ahead and say, from the river to the sea, Israel, Palestine shall be free. They're not hiding their anti-Semitism right now. They're putting it out there for all to see. And the response, and the only response that has ever worked to anti-Semitism, is stand up stronger as a Jewish people. Don't hide. Don't take the kippah off your head. Put the kippah on your head. Even those that generally don't wear a kippah, I encourage you. Walk out of your home with it on your head. Stand strong. Put the mezuzah on your doorpost. Let it be seen. Go ahead, go to your local Chabad center, go to your local synagogue. Put the tefillin on in the morning. Women light the Shabbat candles. Be proud of who you are. And the stronger we are in our pride, in our people, in our heritage, then the weaker anti-Semitism becomes. And so what we have seen, we've seen it in our community, is the strong resolve that we're not going to allow this to take place in our community. We're going to stand strong. We're going to stand united. We're going to be one. We're going to connect ourselves to one another. And we're going to practice goodness and kindness, because that's ultimately what the world needs more than anything else right now.
That is true. Rabbi Bryski, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
You're very welcome, but thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.